Welcome to practice today. My name is Paul. I am really excited to be here with you because we are opening our hips. Hip openers are one of my favorite classes of postures. They're very calming and grounding. I think you'll experience that today. That is my hope and intention. So thank you for showing up for class. If you have a block, have it nearby. And a blanket can come in handy for when we're seated, especially if you're tighter in the hips and hamstrings. Summer and I are adding 3 new classes. They're all short classes to the channel every week to help support you in getting on the mat consistently. So 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Be sure to subscribe, and that way you'll never miss a class. Okay, let's open our hips. We are going to warm things up with windshield wipers. You can slide everything off of your mat and have your feet about mat distance apart. So not too narrow, but not too wide. Hands can be on the floor behind you. This practice, as we go to the left and to the right, is for all levels. I'll offer modifications when necessary. You could do this one, for instance, with your hands off the floor. You might find if you do that you're going to slide around a lot, and it might be kind of intense, especially at the start of practice. So hands on the floor is a great way to begin. My voice got a little calmer as my hands came back to the floor. A couple of more times each direction. Internal and external rotation. It's a great warm-up pose. Just feel. And if you're not able to get your knees all the way to the floor side to side, just go to where you can go. I'll also introduce or offer some alignment pointers to help open your hips safely. Okay, one more time each direction, and then we'll release. And in our seated position, come into a seated figure 4, starting with the left foot crossing just above the right knee. You can slide your right leg in. Now, the more you pull your right foot in, and the more you walk your hands forward, the more intense the stretch. So you may need to have everything further away. Just be where you need to be. And the most important teaching for today is the foot. A sickled foot looks like that, and a sickled foot puts a lot of pressure on the knee joint. So drawing the outer edge of the foot back, that is what's going to help protect your knee. And as you bring your chest forward, resist your knee forward towards the front of the mat. Lift through the heart, relax your face. So important. Especially hip openers, certain postures can really get you to tighten and clench. We want to be relaxed, but we also want to go to our edge. If we go beyond the edge, that's where it's hard to relax the face. All right, exhale and release. We'll switch sides. Right ankle crosses just above the left knee. Pull it in. Just walk your hands and foot in as much as works for you. And then the foot. No sickle to the foot. Draw the outer edge of your foot back. Lifting through your chest, lifting through the heart. Soften your eyes, soften your jaw. Good, then exhale and release. Come onto all fours. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Do some hip circles to warm up. From here, open the right leg to the right and just start circling the hip. Now we are leaning to the left, but try not to overdo the lean. All right, reverse directions of your circles. Good, and then bring right knee to the floor, open the left leg to the left, and we'll circle it up. Either direction, because we will, of course, be reversing. Breathing in and out through your nose the whole time. Let's go the other way. Good, and release. All right, walk your hands forward to the shoulders a few inches. Melt your chest. Stretch up and back to downward facing dog. Press the floor away. Hips up and back.
With your inhale, lift your right leg up in the air. Exhale, step forward to lunge. Crescent lunge, rise up. Now you can modify with back knee on the floor if you need. Reach arms up alongside the ear. We're going to step into a standing figure four. For some of us, we'll step the left foot in multiple steps. For others, we'll just swing it right forward, left leg, ankle just above the knee, hands in front of the heart for standing figure four. Now, if it's difficult to balance, you could have your hands on a block or blocks. You could also have your hands on a wall or a chair in front of you. Same thing as seated figure four. Draw the outer edge of your foot back. Sink down a little bit more deeply as you lift your chest. Trying to warm things up before we do a couple of seated postures. To go back to lunge, however, you could go hands to the floor or just rise and step it back to crescent lunge, whatever works easiest for you. Exhale and release. Downward dog, or whatever works best for you. Sometimes easiest may not be best. We just have to determine in each pose, moment to moment, what is optimal. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step it through. And rise. Stretch arms up for crescent. Back knee could be on the floor. Standing figure four. Sweep it forward, right leg, ankle crossing above the knee. Balance is definitely tricky here, so feel free to have your hands on something. Activate your right foot. Flex your toes, draw the outer edge of the foot back. Soft eyes, soft jaw. And then back to crescent lunge, however you want to get there. And release, downward, diggity dog. Stretch up and back. Bring your knees to the floor. Have a seat. Baby cradle. Stretch your right leg out in front. And we're going to cradle the left leg. Now you could hold on to the leg with your hands, or perhaps you're able to cradle between your elbows. Now the key here, if you're doing this and you're a little bit stiffer and your foot sickles, you're better off holding on, drawing the outer foot back. This is so essential for health of the knee. And then lift and lengthen through your spine. If you want to rock the baby a bit, let's rock the baby. That outer foot, that keeps the baby happy, right? Drawing the outer foot back. Maybe lift the foot a little higher and pull it in towards your body. Feel that. The other thing when you're in seated poses, if you find that you're really rounded back, sitting on a blanket can be helpful. From here, place your left foot just above the right knee. So it's a figure four forward fold. For some of us, we haven't done a lot of things to loosen up. For some of us, that you may want to try a half lotus position as long as your foot is active, and you could fold from there. But only if that is something that feels right for you today. Otherwise, a seated figure four forward fold. And if it's a lot of pressure on the knee, you could place a block underneath the left knee. And lengthen and fold. You could also use a belt around your foot if it's too difficult to fold forward. And then inhale and rise up. Let's switch. Left leg straight, right leg. Find the cradle that feels right for you today. Remember, outer foot drawing back. Lift and lengthen through your spine. Rock the baby if you'd like. Or not. Hold steady. The spine will round a little bit here, but the action is towards a lift. You're trying to get your low back in and up. And then exhale. We'll release into our figure four variation or half lotus. There's even a bound position here where you reach the arm behind. This is something we often will do at the end of a longer form hip opening practice. We have lots of longer form classes and hip opener practices in our membership library. There's a link below. This is something we have over 1,000 classes we've been cultivating for many years now. So if you want to check out some of our longer classes, you know where to go. Relax your face. Then inhale and rise. All right, we'll do a variation of Omega pose. Some people call it Tarasana, but with the block. So instead of Baddha Konasana, where the feet are close to you, we're going to have the feet a little bit further away, forming a diamond shape. And then you pull your seat back and apart. If you don't have a block, or if your hips are tighter, you could do this with just feet on the floor. And then we hold the ankles and lengthen through the spine to fold. Find your edge, and at the same time, relax your face. I do a lot of these with eyes closed, just feeling a softness. There's a lot of effort and strength and tone that I'm using through my legs and hips, and yet I'm also trying to soften and ease into the posture. Then inhale and rise. Now keeping the left leg up on the block, or it could be on the floor. The right foot pulls in. So this is almost like a pigeon leg here, and we call this the deconstructed pigeon, because then we're going to fold forward over the pigeon leg. And if you've not been in class with me, I like to call pigeon. I know pigeon in a lot of languages, but usually I go with Pigiani because I am a big fan of Italy. We lead lots of retreats there. We love Italy. So active foot, draw the outer edge of your left foot back. This is a great pose to do as well without the block. I like it a lot without the block too. You could play with that either way. Inhale and rise. All right, second side. So left foot pulls in, deconstructed pigeon, right foot up on the block, or right foot on the floor. Lift and lengthen out of the waistline as you fold. Keep your foot active. Flex your toes. Outer foot draws back. Inhale and slowly rise. So we'll close with Happy Baby and then Supta Baddha Konasana, another hip opener. So Supta Baddha Konasana, that would be soles of the feet together as we lie back. You could do this with a blanket or a bolster under your back body. You could do this without a prop under the legs, but I like it with blocks under the knees. So it's less of a deep hip opener, more just grounding the thigh bones. It's very calming. Let's start with Happy Baby. And then soles of the feet together. Knees apart. Blocks under the thighs or not. Support under the back body if you'd like. It's a great final resting posture. Opening the inner thigh muscles and outer hip muscles is great release. I'll leave you here in Shavasana
If you can stay for a few minutes, give yourself the treat. Savor this time. And as you leave your practice today, just notice how you feel. Notice how hip openers affect your mood, your way of moving through the world, your level of calmness and peace. So I hope you enjoyed this one. It's a pleasure to practice with you. And we'll see you on the mat for the next class. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.